Good evening and welcome, folks. I hope you guys are ready for some fun. We're going to be releasing a brand new scent called Kentucky Mule from Damn Yankee. And then we've also got brand new body washes that will, let me get the words right, invigorize, relaxify, awakenate, and sanitize. No, serenitize, not sanitize. Serenitize your world. So we're getting ready to do that. I already saw a lot of people in here talking about some stuff that I definitely want to chime in on. Some people were talking about my favorite scent of all time, CTV. We're going to get to all of that, but let's go ahead and bring in Pete, the owner. Always good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Howdy, howdy, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Now I'm doing good. I was just, sanitize may be maybe the next scent in this line. We'll see. That's something to think about.
Yeah, that's true. So I was trying to get the words. It's like you made up these words: invigorize, relaxify, awakenate, and
Yeah,
serenitize.
so my wife and I are both kind of grammar nerds, and so like words that don't quite sound right make me laugh.
Yeah, I
So
love it. I love it.
yeah, that's where these came from.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. You wonderful human, you Pete.
Oh,
I tell you what,
No,
guys, let's go ahead and kick it off here with Kentucky Mule. And I don't know if anybody saw my Instagram post today. Have you seen the bottle for Kentucky Mule? I want to hold it up here and then I want you guys to tell me what you think of when you see it.
hmm.
Hmm. I wonder what you think of Kentucky Mule. Hmm. I'm gonna see if somebody gets it here while I take me a little sip of water. And I'm gonna show you what it reminds me of. It reminds
Right.
me of this, the old
Uh,
fashioned copper still moonshine still. I don't know if
right.
that's what you were going for with it, but that's what I got out of it.
That was the original idea. And then, a lot of times, whether it's any kind of mule, whether it's a Moscow mule or something else, they'll generally serve it in like a copper mug.
Mm.
So yeah, that was kind of where I got the idea also.
Yeah, I don't know if I know I've never had a beard oil that came in a whatever this is. What is this made out of? But it's copper
It's
color.
glass.
Oh, it's
It's
glass.
yeah, it's a glass bottle. It's just got kind of a copper finish to it.
That is awesome. Is this the only scent that's going to come in this kind of bottle? I'm guessing.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that scent profile. You've already released the scent profile, but we're going to put it up here so people can talk about it. And I'm going to give you my feedback on it. I've worn it twice. So Kentucky
Okay.
Mule, we've got whiskey, lime, ginger, and mint. And
Mhm.
you get exactly what it says. Pete is, I know you really agonize over making sure you get blends that smell authentic. It doesn't smell fake or artificial or like you're in, a Bath and Body Works or something like that. So you do
Mhm.
get the whiskey, lime, ginger, mint. You get all of that. Uh, Pretty strong scent. I wore it today and I got over 8 hours, and I don't usually get like strong scents over 8 hours. So I definitely you get different whiffs, right? It changes a little bit. You get a little less bite to it, a little more smooth kind of lime mint on the end of that. But that's a really neat scent. If you guys are into the spring summer scents, all the ones we're going to talk about tonight are going to be right up your alley. Okay, we got some new body washes to talk about in a minute as well.
We do.
But Pete, go ahead and give me the story here and what you were going
You
for with the
know,
Kentucky Mule.
yeah, no. So the original idea was probably a couple of years ago, and um, I guess kind of a southern thing, right? Like if you imagine, sitting around on the front porch with a mint julep and a bow tie and it's kind of a southern trope, right? And so that's kind of where it started. And I realized pretty early on that you could pretty much accomplish that with mostly essential oils, right? So the lime and the ginger and the mint are all essential oils. The I finally found I've been looking for a good bourbon fragrance for a long time. And I finally found one at the end of last year. So I'll probably be doing more with it. So yeah, the bourbon part of it is a fragrance, but everything else is essential oils.
I was
And
curious if they were essential
mm,
oils or not. I figured probably the whiskey wasn't. And just to answer your question here, Gary's got one about is it overly boozy smelling? Now, I can smell it, especially out of bottle. It smooths out and turns more into the other three for the most part. But there is that whiskey kind of bite to it, but it blends in well. It's kind of hard to explain because this is one of the few, you get beard oil scents that says it smells like an alcohol kind of vibe to it, and I don't usually get it, and because I don't drink
yeah.
alcohol, so when something has alcohol in it, like that smell, pretty sensitive to it. So I do actually get kind of an authentic whiskey kind of smell mixed with the rest
Mm,
of that. What's your take on it,
yeah.
Pete?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to overdo it. I mean, look, I mean, even if you do like, the occasional adult beverage, that doesn't mean you want to smell like, booze all the time. So I tried to keep it where it's just kind of in the background, like you can pick it up, but it's not overwhelming. I mean, I think you'll find once it's in beard that you're going to get a lot more lime and
You
ginger
you
than
get
you
more
are anything
freshness
else.
than you do booze, is
Yeah,
after
I
the
think so.
initial opening.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of what I was after, just because, not that you can tell right now about the weather getting warmer. I don't know how it is in South Carolina, but in Texas, we had a bad day yesterday, a lot of us, but
Oh yeah, it's a lot of
it
storms.
was, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was tornadoes all the way from south of Austin into Oklahoma. So, but I wanted something a little light and something kind of, on the lighter side for warmer weather. And I think this will be good. I mean, I've worn it a pretty fair amount since last year, and I think it'll be good for people. But we'll see. We'll see. As always, we'll see what the beard community has to say. You
Right.
know.
So, if you ask, is this a seasonal scent or a permanent scent? And I will say it depends. Pete always says the customers drive it. So if it sells well, it'll stay around.
Yeah.
Uh,
No. As with all things, damn Yankee, it's kind of a Game of Thrones situation. It's like it's if people buy it, it stays. If they don't, it goes right out the door. So. We'll see. I mean, if it sells, I mean, there's no reason that we couldn't keep it around all the time. Otherwise, it'll be gone probably sometime during the summer. We'll see. We'll see what the people have to say.
Yeah, definitely a good spring summer scent. Very fresh, and then with that freshness, is an authentic freshness, and a lot of the stuff here has got just a little bit of that bite to it, right? The ginger, the mint, the whiskey
Yeah.
things have got a little bite instead of the smoothness. Like so, you called it, you said bourbon scent that you're using in it, but don't get in your head, guys. That it's that smooth, rich kind of buttery bourbon. That's not what this is. This is more of the whiskey.
Mm,
I guess because the
yeah.
other stuff that's with it too kind of makes it that way. All right, guys, let's talk
Yeah.
about, first of all, I've got a code you can use, Banjo15. Will always save you 15% over at Damn Yankee. So always glad to share that with you. And thank you, Pete, for
Good.
partnering with me on that. I appreciate it. And it's shopdamnyankee.com. I did put a direct link there pinned in the chat. So you can just go there and check it out. Everything is live. So Kentucky Mule is live. So let's talk about the prices on that, and then we'll answer some questions and go into some other stuff here. So I put it up on the screen. I can show the website as well in just a minute. But we've got two different versions of your oil blend. You've got your original oil blend, which works well, $16.99. And then you've got one of the best things I've ever put in my beard, which is the Sterling blend, which is $17.99. It's got that broccoli seed oil kind of really juiced up in there. And if you have not tried it, you need to. It doesn't matter what kind of beard you have. I think it's well worth a try. 2 ounce butter for $12.99. And then you can get the original blend combo for $27.99 or $1 more for the Sterling. 1 ounce balm. So if you don't want a big old balm, but you want some balm, that you get $9.99. That's pretty reasonable. And then your oil balm combo, $24.99. You can get a sample. Or if you want to order Kentucky Mule and pick up samples of all the other scents that we'll talk about briefly tonight, you can get samples for $3.99 a piece. Little 2 gram samples, let you use it for, depending on your beer and how much you use, at least 3 times, I would say. And then, you're also doing the wash and conditioner in the Kentucky Mule, huh?
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So I decided to go ahead and do that. and I will put an asterisk on that and say that one of the body washes that we're doing is essentially the same profile, just without the fragrant, without the bourbon in it, right? So we've got a body wash that we're about to talk about that's essentially the same thing, just without the bourbon note in it. So um, if you don't like that alcohol note, look at the body wash because it's basically the same profile.
Yeah, and I noticed that too when I smelled it. It's like, oh, that's the same kind of vibe to it, just without the alcohol bite.
Yeah,
So
well, I wanted to make it all natural, so I left out any synthetic fragrance out of the body washes.
yeah,
So
and we'll get to those body washes in just a minute. But go ahead and drop your favorite damn Yankee scents in the chat in case people are shopping and want some suggestions, or maybe they want to get a sample of something. My favorite scent is the cedar tobacco vanilla. I'm going to tell you what. Let's go ahead and just go over here and show the website. So the Kentucky Mule, and then the body wash, which we'll talk about in a minute. That is first up on the list. And let me lock this scene so I don't do what I just did again. Hold on just a second, guys. Where is this?
mhm.
All right, locked. All right, so let's go to your scents. So you got your pipe bomb, which I think just had an anniversary. Is that right?
It did. Yeah, we released Pipe Bomb 3 years ago, and it has become over time our biggest seller. CTV's up there as well, but overall, Pipe Bomb is our biggest seller, and it's gone through several iterations in terms of labeling and otherwise, but the scent has remained the same since day one. Yeah, that's one that's been around for a while, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to give it a little facelift for another edition.
I might have to have you make me one again and leave out the chocolate because just the chocolate for some reason just does not appeal to me as much as some of the other stuff. But my favorite
Right.
scent of all time, not just damn Yankee scents, of all the well over 500 scents I've tried, guys, I would say is cedar tobacco vanilla. I put it on tonight after my Kentucky Mule was died off because I mowed the yard a while ago. I got my candle here in the cedar tobacco vanilla going. That is my favorite scent of all time. If you have not, I saw some people talking about cedar earlier. Pete
Mhm.
Cedar is that he uses is the most authentic, best cedar that I have smelled. So anything that he's got with cedar in it, there's several here. I would highly recommend you try it if you do like some cedar.
Yeah, absolutely. In the cedar essential oil that we use comes from South Texas. It's a town called Uvalde, Texas, and that's kind of what they're known for down there. And yeah, it really is. I mean, when you crack open one of those cedar essential oils, I mean, it just smells like a big old cedar chest. Like you just open a big cedar chest. But you know what? I would put it in everything if I could, but it's no secret that's one of the oils that we love around here is that one.
Awesome. Yeah. And then cedar and then Cuban tobacco is Beard Times with Scott, his collab called Panama. That's got that Cuban
Mhm.
kind of cigar, peppery notes to it a little bit more. And then the Cavendish is the pipe tobacco and kind of dried fruit, which is a good
Mhm.
blend. Pipe tobacco and leather for you leather fans. And then a different take on a coffee scent is the flat white, which is more like your espresso, steamed milk, and orange zest on that one. So a totally different kind of coffee scent if you like trying those out.
Mhm.
I love the barbershop. It is a little different. I'm sure Disney Beerman has tried it. It's more like shaving cream. The old school shaving cream is exactly
Mhm.
what it reminds me of. Back when I was a kid, went into my barbershop my dad went to, and they put the shaving cream on, used a straight razor on your back of your neck. That's what I get. And then your Port Isabel is your orange and black pepper. And then I know last year, was it last year that you came out with Pipe Dream or the year before? Whenever you came out with it, it was a big hit.
Mhm.
And I think it's still going. I saw some people in the chat about that already.
Yeah, it's been right at a year, and in fact, when we released Pipe Dream last year, I think I said at the time that I was not going to release another tobacco scent unless it was something really really spectacular. And as it happens, that one is next up. I've got another one coming out in May. that I wasn't going to do another tobacco scent because I didn't want to be the tobacco scent guy.
Why not?
But what's that?
Why not?
Well, and I appreciate the accolades, even if they're not necessarily due. But I like to think that I'm not just kind of a one note one note guy. But
I
so here we
understand.
are, a year down the road from Pipe Dream, and I stumbled across a profile that really, really is spectacular. So here in the next few weeks, we'll be giving more info about that. But I've been wearing it since probably October, November, and it's probably one of my favorites.
And you haven't sent it to me yet, Pete? Come on now.
I have not, but it's going out to everybody.
All right, cool.
Uh,
I can't wait. You start teasing me with the tobacco scents and tobaccos and cedars, and I'm all over
yeah.
that for sure.
Um, you'll dig this one. This one's right up your alley. So yeah, I'll that one will be going out here pretty soon
You see the
to
smile on my
everybody.
face, right? I'm getting excited. And then
But
one that I don't care for is the hippie hollow. I think that's cannabis and peppermint. Is that what that is?
yeah, I get that. That happens a lot, and that's okay. I mostly Hippie Hollow is on there for me just because I dig it. There are a few guys out there who like it as well. I had one customer a few months back describe it as a religious experience. So I don't know, So I keep it on there for me, not only because it's a profile that kind of makes me laugh, but also because Hippie Hollow is. There are a few things that are more insider Texas than Hippie Hollow, right? I don't know if South Carolina's got something like that, like a place or a food or a drink that is so exclusively South Carolina that people in Virginia don't know about it. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've got that or not, but um, Hippie Hollow is very much a Texas thing.
Cool. Yeah, well, I'm in North Carolina, but we have Cheerwine and Sundrop.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Just have to
Oh,
remember that I'm the Yankee Carolinian. I'm in the North, so
uh,
that
I'm from out
now
of
you
town.
won't forget. I'm a Northern Carolina person.
Shoot, shoot, my bad.
No worries,
But
no worries.
um, anyway, so I just it's one of those things that Texas is a really specific place. Like the culture here is pretty unique to this little area, and so that's one of those things. If you don't know the story, Hippie Hollow is the only clothing optional beach in the state of Texas. Um, so it's got a long history. It's been around since the 60s, and it's just outside of Austin. So you get a lot of University of Texas students and a bunch of other folks. But anyway, that's the brief history on that.
Awesome. And by the way, the brand new release is on the website as well. It's Kentucky Mule, and I don't know if you guys saw this. Look up at me. Look at that bottle. It is a glass bottle, but it looks like it's copper. So to me, it's kind of like the copper moonshine still or something is what I get out
There
of
you
that.
go.
So
There you
pretty
go.
cool. And then one of my favorite favorite scents of all time is kettle corn. And I don't know,
Mm,
there's just something about it with the sweet and salty kind of vibe to it. It doesn't, I've had some other scents that from other companies that was like movie butter popcorn, and I didn't really care for that in my beer. This is different, right? This kettle
yeah.
corn, you just got just a little sweet, a little salty kind of vibe going on, and it just works for me. And the
I
way, and this really
mm,
starts to get into your creativity more, Pete, with how you've antiqued the butters and the lids to this thing, and made it look aged is really cool.
we're gonna have so it's from Carnival of Souls was the name of the collection that has kettle corn and churros, and it was always intended to be a permanent collection. Just because I think there's a lot more to do with that idea. So we're gonna have a new scent for Carnival of Souls by the summer. So
Awesome.
we'll have more on that coming up later. But there will be a new addition to the Carnival of Souls collection before the summer.
That is very cool. So be looking for that,
Yeah.
guys. Be looking for that. And so remind you, we're just releasing Kentucky Mule tonight, the brand new scent, whiskey, lime, ginger, and mint. And you can use code Banjo15 to save on your order over at shopdamnyankee.com. And I put the link there in the chat. So pin that for you guys. So let us know if you've got any questions about anything. And then we're going to get into these body washes. But before we do that, how about we do one of those giveaways, Pete?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's go ahead and do an oil, a Kentucky Mule oil. All right, Kentucky Mule oil here. So get your device ready to type in your number. And we've got, how many people do we have watching? We've got 25 people watching. And if you have not seen a giveaway on my channel, I started doing this, and I don't know why, but I like being just a little bit different because you guys have all been prioritized doing that random number thing. You're like, somebody got it before me. My internet was slow. Shoot. So here's what I do. If you're the only person to get the right number, you win. But however, if more than one person gets the right number, doesn't matter if it's 2 people or 3 people or 5 people, I give it to the second person. So if more than one person gets it, we're going with the second person that pops up on my screen. So it's not too hard to remember, no matter how you do it. Sometimes people kind of get the raw end of the deal, and that's just the way it goes. But we've got 25 people in here. Let's go 1 through 12, and you can go ahead and type your number in when you're ready. And as we're doing that, we'll start to switch over here and start talking about the body washes in just a second.
Mint is not a thing that I use a lot. And when I was working on this scent, that was one of the hardest things to balance, was the mint, so that you could smell it, but that it wasn't taking over everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy how little it takes to make a huge, huge difference.
Yeah, and it definitely doesn't overpower, and it's not kind of chalky mint, right? It's more the authentic kind of smooth.
Yeah, it's spearmint, right?
Yeah. So and you said it was essential, so it is the real thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and and when you order a mule in a bar, I mean, the spearmint is a garnish, right? So I mean, it's not. That's why I wanted it kind of in the background. Plus, I just didn't want it taking over. I didn't want people putting, like a stick of gum in their beard. Yeah, I think the balance on it's good. I'm really happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah, make sure you only go once, everyone. And I see a winner here. So let's take a look and see what we've got. I'm scrolling through. I see one person. I see 2 people. So I saw 2 people with the correct number. And we're going with the second person on my screen with the number 4. And that would be, get it right, Ryan Moretz. You are the winner of the Kentucky Mule Oil. So congratulations. And Ryan, are you on Instagram? Can you send Pete a message?
Yeah, Ryan's ordered from me before.
Okay, cool. So Ryan is a customer of yours, which is cool. It's always good. So if you guys have any, and congratulations, if you guys have any questions about anything, put it in the chat. And we're going to talk about a new product release for the very first time. We've got some body washes. So let's talk about those. And there's actually a way that you can kind of sample, but more than a sample, all 4 of them at the same time. So we've got Invigorate, Relaxify, Awaken, and Serenitize. Not sanitize, as I said earlier. So let's put them up here. I got them all typed up so you can actually see the scent profiles. All right. I got them color coded and everything for you, Pete, there.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Did one of those stand out to you did you like one of those more than the others?
I need to smell them again. But here's what jumped out at me is, and I'm sure you're just going to say no, flat no. I think you need an oil and a butter in it. Here's your spring collection. And it's just essential oils. I know before you've done a collection of that was all essential oils. I really think it would work because, they're essential oils that they don't last forever. It would be really good for nighttime kind of scents. But you guys tell me which one of these sounds the best. Invigorize is lime, ginger, and mint, which is just like the Kentucky Mule without the alcohol fragrance added in. Relaxify is lemon, bergamot, sage, cypress, and cedar. And I love cedar. And 2 of these have cedar in it. Awakenate is bergamot, ginger, and nutmeg. and Serenitize is lavender, vanilla, and cedar. And I want to smell them again while you talk about it a little bit more.
So, for some of you who've been with me for a while, the profile for Serenitize might look familiar.
I thought I saw
Um,
Nightlight. Was that what that was?
y- yeah,
I smelled it.
I reformulated it a little bit, so that it works a little bit better on skin than in beard. But the profile for Serenitize is the same profile for a beard set called Nightlight. Um, so in Nightlight, the cedar is a little bit more prominent. I dialed that back a little bit, and cranked up the vanilla a little bit. And I left the lavender pretty low because lavender is one of those ride or die kind of scents. People either love it or they can't stand it. And so I try to keep it pretty reasonable. So Awakenate, um, the interesting thing about that started out life as a lotion in a hotel that Mrs. Yankee and I were staying at a couple of years ago. And there was, you know how when you go to a hotel and they give you the freebie like lotions and conditioners and shampoos, and normally it's garbage, and normally you don't, really use it. But we went to this one. I couldn't even remember where it was at this point, but they had this amazing smelling lotion. And it blew my mind, so I kept it, and I've still got it in my bathroom. But the interesting thing about it, right? So when you think of nutmeg, if you're thinking of like, holiday pies and cakes and that kind of thing, you'd be surprised that how nutmeg is used in this, because it's almost a woody kind of note
It
rather
is.
than rather than like a pumpkin pie kind of note. So if you're looking at nutmeg and you're like, nah, I don't really think that's my thing, um, give it a look, because the way we use nutmeg in that scent is not probably like you're expecting.
And I'll tell you, Pete, when you asked me, I went back, smelled them again, and remembered which one jumped out at me the most was the Awaken 8. That's the one I went
Yeah,
with to actually try. I used it this morning. And I'm not a fan of nutmeg and ginger usually.
right.
But in this case, all these fresh scents, the ginger makes sense. And the nutmeg, you're exactly right. It does not smell like something you bake. It does. You've got a little bit of that woody base to it. I would have said that's got, I can almost smell lavender or cedar, but so many of these other ones have it in it too. So it's probably in my nose,
Yeah.
but they're all
Um,
similar in a way.
I think, yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. Here's the reason. I think I can't speak for all beard companies, but I think there's a reason that beard companies don't use a lot of essential oils. Is number one, they are extraordinarily expensive. I mean, it's crazy what people charge for some of these oils. It's insane. And the downside for a beard company is not only is it expensive, but in general, essential oils don't last as long in beard. And the third thing is, after a while, they kind of all smell the same, if I'm being honest. I mean, there's only so much you can do with essential oils, right? And so for a beard company, there's a real incentive to use fragrance oils because they're cheap, they last forever, and you can make your beard smell like cookies or watermelon or this crazy stuff. Um, but I really wanted these body washes to be 100% natural, right? That's kind of the kick I've been on the last couple of years. And in fact, I'm going to try to be releasing some more video content here this spring, talking about soap and the history of soap, and we're kind of starting to touch on some trends that I hope the beard community picks up on. In particular, we're talking about what they call the skin microbiome, right? So we're talking about the natural balance of bacteria that lives on your skin that you actually need to keep your skin healthy. And long story short, we're washing a lot of that off. So a lot of the healthy bacteria that we need to protect ourselves and protect our health, we're just washing down the drain. But that's a story for another day.
That sounds like an interesting discussion.
Well, that's kind of the trend in skincare right now, right? Like I changed about a year and a half ago. I changed the way I shower. I stopped washing anything except like armpits and the south gate down there. So keep all that clean. But there's really no need. There's really no need to soap up like the rest of you, unless, and I'll put a big asterisk there, but if you work in a dirty environment, like you're in construction, like I know a lot of your guys are in construction, or a job where you're outside and sweating and you're getting dirty, yeah, then you probably should, really shower up at the end of the day. But for those of you who like to work in an office or working at home and you're not just out there in the dirt and the grime and the environment, there's really not a whole lot of need to do all that. And the reality is you're probably washing away some beneficial bacteria. But anyway, these body washes are Castile soap, right? And Castile soap has been made for literally centuries. All it is olive oil. Some people use palm oil, but that's kind of a controversial thing as well. Potassium hydroxide, which is a slightly less caustic version of lye. Um, so there's like 5 ingredients in this soap from start to finish. So it's 100% natural. Um, the scents are all natural, and it was just important to me that not have a bunch of artificial junk in it. So that's kind of where I was headed with this. I one more thing, and I know I'm just kind of going on and on, but with Castile soap, if you have not used it before, natural Castile soap does not really lather very well. So if you purchase this and you get it home, you get it in the shower, you start soaping yourself up, and you're not just covered in lather. That's just kind of the way it goes with Castile soap. My suggestion is to use like a either a loofah or like a whatever those poofy things are called. I'm not sure. Those little mesh looking deals. Anyway, it's not going to lather up as much as like a fakey soap, but that's just kind of one of the trade-offs that you have.
Yeah. So I'm a bar soap guy. So I'm not a body wash guy. I did use it this morning just to say I did. But let's talk about the prices. I'm gonna show on the website. But let me know in the comments, guys. Would you be interested? Would you purchase an oil or a butter out with any of these scents profiles in it? Maybe for a nighttime scent, just to let Pete know. Give him some feedback here live. And be honest on that. If it's like, no, I don't want any of this stuff, then that's fine too. But for me, it jumped out at me. It's like, I think guys would dig a lot of these for just nighttime scents and really want it in the, like in an oil or butter kind of thing. But anyway,
Yeah.
let me show the website and see what kind of feedback they give you on that. Hey, Garrett, good to see you. And glad to have everybody in here, guys, if I haven't responded to you personally there. So you've got 4 different scents. And so you've got 8 ounces, goes for $15.99, or you can get the sample pack, which is what you sent me, correct, Pete?
Yeah, that's right. That's what you see in the picture.
Yeah, so that's what you see in the picture. They look like little CO2 cartridges for your paintball gun or something, right? So and there's relatively large, 4 ounces, so it definitely gives you enough to, you try all of those. And that sample pack's $29, and then you've got you can use the code Banjo15, works on those as well. Okay.
Yeah. I was struggling with how to price the sample thing because you've known me for a while. I mean, I always try to price things fairly. And I feel like $29 is a pretty good deal because, I mean, you're getting like 16 ounces of body wash. And this will let you find a favorite without, dropping a ton of cash. Plus, I think they look pretty cool. I think they look good. So, yeah, so that's what we've got on the website right now. So we've got all 4 of those scents in the full 8-ounce version. And then we've got the little 4-ounce sample for 29, and that's all 4 cents.
Do you have an 8-ounce handy you can just show so that the guys will know the difference between them? or not?
Yes.
Oh,
Hang on one second.
okay. So, and I'm seeing some people in the chat that says they would be interested in picking up some of those scents. Serenitize, which was basically he already had that scent previously called Nightlight. Um, and Gary's like, well, yeah, it's really the same thing without the Virgin Kentucky Mule. So you're right. So let me put that on you, Pete. Hold on just a second. So there's
So
the big 8 ounces.
this is an 8 ounce. It's kind of hard to see, but this is a Port Isabel conditioner. But the 8 ounce bottle is kind of our norm. So if you've ordered a beard wash or co-wash from me, that would have come in an 8 ounce aluminum bottle.
Cool. Hey, Joey, good to see you, man. So nice size, little 4 ounce samplers, if you will, but more than a sample.
Yeah.
All right.
And and it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot of this to get you soaked up and ready to go. So hopefully it'll last for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, and these are aluminum bottles. I know Pete's really big on being environmental friendly with this packaging and all of that, and just really creative with a lot of things that he does. So, Pete, you want to talk a little bit about some of that?
Yeah. So it's one of those things that I don't know, about a year and a half ago, I was using a lot of plastics in, whether it was butters or, wash and co-washes. I was using a lot of plastic in our packaging, and um, it was just bugging me because, I mean, that all generally goes to landfill, or, and a lot of it winds up in oceans and waterways. And so, it, I made a change about a little over a year ago
Mm-hmm.
to materials that were not plastic. And the reality is, I mean, plastic is probably just about as recyclable as these aluminum bottles, but um, I just wanted a material that was a little bit more likely to be recycled and reused. And so we really changed everything. Not only did we change the packaging, we also changed our bags as well. Our bags are all post consumer. So when you get a something from Damn Yankee that's in a plastic bag, that is 100% post consumer recycled material. Um, the boxes are post consumer. So basically, I mean, there's some areas where we couldn't eliminate it entirely, but by and large, we've really probably by about 90% reduced the amount of plastic that we use in the business.
That's awesome. So, guys, let us know if you have any questions for Pete or me about anything Damn Yankee. And once again, we have released these new body washes, and you see the scent still on your screen there. And then also, brand new scent in the oil and butter and wash and co-wash and all that stuff called Kentucky Mule, which is the same as Invigorize plus some whiskey on it. And have you ever seen a bottle like that? You're talking about something that would stick out on your shelf and really make a statement. This would be it.
And it's funny that that's exactly the reason for that, right? Because it's no secret that beard guys, we like our shelves, right? And we buy from a lot of companies and we collect and I wanted something that would stick out on the shelf. And so yeah, hopefully this will be a welcome addition to those of you who have 50 or 60 or 100 beard oil bottles up there.
Awesome. Let's see. Yep. So we got one more giveaway, don't we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So you wanted to do the Kentucky Mule butter? Is that right?
Yeah, let's do a butter.
All right. Let's do a Kentucky Mule butter. So there you go. So let's get your number generator ready and go only once. I think our young man, Mr. Spence, was going more than once earlier. He was trying to win.
Oh.
So, is that your little boy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. We've got 27 people watching. Let's go 1 through 14. You can go ahead and go. Only go once. But if more than one person gets the right number, no matter how many people get it, we're going to go with the second person.
But he wants to be on TV. Go sit with Dad. So I'm gonna take a picture.
Right, here we go. Over here.
Here comes some numbers.
Ready?
Hey, buddy.
Showing the TV here.
What's your favorite scent?
Does Daddy make stuff that smells good?
Yeah.
Some of it stinks though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Some of it stinks.
Damn Yankee. Some of it stinks.
Some of it's there's your new slogan.
There's
Let
my
me
new
tell you.
slogan. So this is Quinn. How old are you, Quinn?
5.
5 years old. And what do you
Excuse me.
what do you like to do? What's your favorite thing?
Farting and burping.
Farting and burping are his favorite things.
Well, looks like you're good at honest.
All right, can you say bye to everybody?
Not yet.
Not yet. He said no, not yet.
Say bye.
No.
Okay. Here you go.
A few more seconds to put your number in if you haven't. And we'll put some dots in.
Yeah, Quinn has recently discovered that you can ask Alexa to make fart noises.
Does she do it?
So, yeah, she absolutely does.
Wow.
And in fact, a couple of days ago, Alexa tried to upsell me on a fart sound expansion pack
Really?
for $1.99. I did not purchase.
But I may have a few recommendations.
Did not purchase the expansion pack, but
You better watch out. Quinn might purchase it.
yeah, I know. Yeah, hopefully that's not linked to my debit card. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. But
All
no,
right,
it's funny.
guys.
Oh, you got a winner?
Okay.
We actually did not get a winner. We had number 10, and there were no number 10s. So we're going to try one more time. Let's go 20 through 30. So go ahead and go again, guys. 20 through 30. We'll get a winner this time.
Alexa, stop. Yeah, now I'm sitting here looking at the screen, and I'm looking at Relaxify, and I'm having a flashback. So I don't know.
Did I type something wrong?
No, not at all.
Right.
I'm laughing because I don't know if Scott's in here or not, but I sent Scott an early version of Relaxify about a year and a half ago, and back in that time it was cedar and cucumber, which is still a combination that I dig. I know it sounds weird, but cedar and cucumber smell really good together. So it's just kind of funny how it turned out, because I mean the cedar is still there, but none of that other stuff was there before. But Relaxify is good. Relaxify is obviously with lemon and bergamot. It's a pretty citrus heavy scent, but bergamot and sage smell fantastic together.
Yeah, guys, all of these scents are fresh and green, and it just brings that to your memory. So it's not really smooth and sweet and rich. It's more of the, on the authentic kind of herbal, fresh green side, which is great for spring and summer for sure. All right, guys, we're going to see if we have a winner here. And I see at least one person with the right number. So the number was 22. And as I scroll through, the first person was Philip A, but we're going with the second person, which was my man, Russ Young. So congratulations, Russ. It's karma. Russ shared my a post on Instagram about it. So I appreciate you, Russ, and congratulations. I know you were on.
Apologies to Philip, but yeah, no, Russ is a good man.
Yes, he is. And good question, Russ. Kentucky Mule is definitely available in the Sterling blend. And in fact, it's available in a lot of stuff. So let's just go through that one more time.
I'll tell you a funny story about Russ too. So he's also a customer. You probably know that Nate at Ferocious Beard, Nate lives like one town over from me.
Right.
Like Nate's like a 10-minute drive from my house. Anyway, Russ worked with Nate to combine Pipe Bomb and Pipe Dream, and they made a scent called, I think it's called Dream Bomb.
I think I remember him telling me that.
You'd have to ask Russ, but anyway, and Nate actually gave me one. I met Nate for lunch like 3 or 4 months ago, and he actually gave me one. But anyway, so no, that's my Russ Young story. So he's a good dude.
Cool. So all the Texas connections. I think my next karaoke stream, I'm going to do songs all about Texas.
Ooh,
I've got a
wow.
lot of them. That'd be a cool concept. Or if not, if I run out of Texas, I can just do regional kind of songs
There you
about
go.
a place. So you know,
You like
Amarillo
San
by morning, and
Antonio Rose and
yeah,
oh, that'd be a good one. Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, he says it's called Dream Bomb. Yeah,
that's right. Okay, there we go. There
and
we go.
Joey said it was fire, 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 fire. So I want to know about the gig, about the gigs. Are you still playing? Are you getting out?
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, before I was a beard guy, I've been a musician for, I've been a working musician for over 30 years. And yeah, so I'm working with a band here in the Dallas area who does Brooks and Dunn. It's a Brooks and Dunn tribute band. And when I say that, they really do look and sound like, this guy looks and sounds just like Ronnie Dunn, which is pretty incredible because Ronnie Dunn's got an amazing voice.
He's one of the best voices I've ever heard. Just really, I mean,
Yeah.
the range and the tone that he's got is just
Um,
amazing.
I did a show with them back in February, and I don't think I'm their second call guy, right? So I'm not their main guy, but I
You're
think
not
I'm
the
gonna
A
be with.
guy, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna be with them again in June down in the Houston area, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I learned 40 Brooks and Dunn songs, and I didn't realize I didn't grow up listening to country music. Um, and so I didn't realize how many huge giant hits they have, but it's really crazy, the number of hits they have. Cavendish is pipe tobacco, and when I say dried fruits, it's really prune, but that's why I say dried fruits, is because nobody wants to put prunes in their beard. Um, I'll give you the brief story behind that. So there's a guy, it's kind of a buddy of mine. A lot of you might know Jay Furman on Instagram. He's a big pipe guy. And a couple of years ago, actually more than that now, he sent me a pipe tobacco called Blood Red Moon. And I tried to duplicate it. I wouldn't say that Cavendish is a duplicate of Blood Red Moon, but it's pretty close. Um, but it's, yeah, the short answer is it's pipe tobacco and kind of a raisin prune note, which really kind of keeps it, to me it smells like a good pipe scent, but it doesn't have any of the other stuff in it. It doesn't have any like cherry or woods or anything else in there. It's just a straight pipe tobacco scent.
Yeah. So for me, that makes the kind of more like a wet smelling tobacco, right? It's the pipe
Mhm.
tobacco, but then you mix it with the fruit, and it kind of gives it more the kind of the wet leaves kind of idea with it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's, whereas a scent like Panama, it's a little heavier and darker. Cavendish is pretty light. Um, but a lot of it's funny. I talk to guys all the time who shy away from pipe tobacco scents because they think it's going to smell like smoke, or it's going to smell
Mm.
like, ashtray, things like that. No, I mean, pipe tobacco is almost floral. I think.
Hmm.
I mean, you may differ. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I can see what you mean, especially because most of the tobaccos is more on the tobacco leaf kind of side. Like obviously, it's before it's been smoked or anything. Now, some of the Cuban cigar, it's got a little bit more of that peppery bite to it. But yeah, other than that, it is more on the greener side, except for your
Yeah,
CTV. It's more like the pipe tobacco kind of. I don't know. I
yeah,
just with the cedar put with it, it gives it a different vibe for me.
yeah. The funny thing is, I wanted to change CTV for a while, but I'm not going to, just because I think it could be a little bit better balanced, but I'm not going to change it because I just I don't want to I don't want to fix it if it ain't broke, kind of thing,
Yeah,
But
and it ain't broke, my friend. It is. I would be a sad person if that
but
happened. But let us know, guys, if you have any final questions for Pete there in the chat, and we'll get out of here in just a couple minutes.
You'll be the first to know on this new tobacco scent. Should be sometime in May. Um, it's similar to, if you remember, one that we did a little over a year ago called Presidio. It's got similar notes
Oh
to
yeah.
that. Um,
Well, that was one of my top scents of the year, Presidio.
there you go. I still like that one too. That one may come back. I don't know. Nobody really bought that, but I still dig it. So I may bring it back. Just
Yeah.
even if I'm the only one who wears it, that's fine.
I kind of I liked it, but it was a little bit on the savory side. I could see maybe backing off a little bit on the peppery and put maybe a hint of something
Yeah.
sweeter, richer in it. Maybe just just a slight tweak on that. I think I might like it a little bit better, but I
Black,
liked it as it was.
it's funny. Black pepper is divisive. It's like people either love it or hate it, and I think it's really easy to overdo it. Um, but yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, maybe you're right. But we've got a lot planned for the rest of the year. We've got we got the tobacco scent coming out. I don't know exactly when yet, but we're going to release a couple of scents that previously were only available at a barber shop that I work with in Austin, Texas, just outside of Austin. We're going to be releasing what we're going to call the AF series. The AF series is going to be Texan AF and Viking AF. And previously, you could only purchase those from my buddy Derek. Derek's a barber down in Taylor, Texas, and he's a it it's a crazy story, but he's an enormous man. He's like 6'5" and like just a giant Viking guy who also cuts hair, and he's into rockabilly and hot rods. But anyway, we're gonna release those probably during the summer, and we'll have a summer scent also. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but it's gonna be a crazy year this year.
Well, I'm glad you got things lined up, and I'll be here to help as much as I can. And you might have any final comments? Anything else you want to? You've let a bunch of cats out of the bag already, Pete. So I'm guessing you don't want to let
What's
any
that?
more out. You said you have anything else you want to add? Seems like you already let a bunch of cats out of the bag already.
Now's the time of year where I'm typically thinking about summer. And if you look back at Damn Yankee historically, we've had a pineapple scent every summer since we've opened. And I suspect this one will be no different. I've got a pineapple fragrance that I love. I mean, it smells just like you cut into a fresh pineapple. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. We'll see. I don't know. I'm still working on some stuff, but you never know. And
Oh,
then
Joey said he smelled the Viking scent. He said it's cool. All right, that's awesome.
yeah, Viking AF, and I'll have a lot more details about that later. But essentially, it started life as a pirate scent, right? But in a way that, like, I was wondering, like, what would a pirate actually smell like other than bo? And so it was like teak wood and cedar and sea salt and some other stuff.
Sign me up for that one.
It's surprisingly good, right? So sea salt and like mahogany teak wood are surprisingly good together, and it's definitely if you're like a seafaring nautical scent kind of person, this will be right up your alley.
That's awesome.
Texan AF is more of a like whiskey barrel kind of scent. It's like oak and vanilla and whiskey. So I don't know if that's what people from Texas smell like. I don't smell like that, but it was we're getting
You
creative.
might if you go out to your gigs and to the bars.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, you smell like
right.
yeah. But
last question here, Donald asked, "What's the difference between your African lion versus a bar of African black soap?"
That's a really, really good question. So the company that I partner with for Iron Lion, they take African black soap and they pulverize it, right? So if you've seen African black soap, it's kind of they're kind of gnarly looking, the bars. So they take African black soap and they pulverize it and they mix it with a little bit of coconut oil. to turn it into a liquid. And then I kind of take it from there. But uh, the main difference is really just the feel as you're using it. I don't have a lot of evidence on this because I don't know a ton of guys who use the bar black soap. But um, if you use black soap in the shower, this is literally that only pulverized into a liquid. And then I throw a little bit of like an amber oak kind of scent on the top, and that's Iron Lion.
Sounds very nice.
Yeah,
Awesome. So, guys, don't forget to use code Banjo15 and check out all the cool stuff at Damn Yankee. Make sure you're following Pete on Instagram too, because he kind of gives you sneak peeks at some of this stuff going on as well. I get to see some of his artistry and just how his mind works behind things. I always appreciate your creative mind, and you don't mind putting out scents that you don't, that aren't quite as common as some other folks. You don't take the safe route, and I appreciate that as somebody who smelled almost 1,000 scents at this point.
that's the nice way of saying I put out stuff that smells weird sometimes. But yeah, no, as a matter of fact, speaking of Instagram, I've been teasing at 2,000 followers for a while now. We're at about 1940. And I think maybe here pretty soon we might make a push. Instagram followers are not generally something that I really work hard for because I kind of want, if people want to follow me, then, I figure that, that's a decision that they'll make. So I don't generally push for followers, but I think I want to get to 2,000. So I think we're going to make that push here pretty soon and try to reach out there a little bit, but we'll see.
Cool. So make sure you follow Damn Yankee on Instagram, as well as me, Beards and Banjos. And we both post a lot of cool stuff over there. So, guys, I really appreciate you hanging out with us and checking out some of the cool stuff here. And Pete, I always appreciate talking to you. It's always a good time, and I love hearing what you got going on over there. And guys, thank you so much. Hope you have a good night and rest of the weekend. Thank you. See you guys.